The Swiss Supreme Court has just ruled that Artisans de Genève can customize Rolexes, and it's actually quite a big deal, so I want to talk about it. But first of all, I'm not a watch expert, I'm just a watch nerd, so if I get anything wrong in this video, specifically this video, this is one hell of a complicated issue that I'm going to try my best to summarize. Pop down into the comments and I'm sure you'll let me know. Whilst you're down there, if you enjoyed the video, why not like, subscribe, comment, ding that bell icon, do all of that good stuff, and you'll make me and Terry very, very happy. And Terry wants to be happy because he's not feeling very well. Say hi, Terry.
Not feeling too good.
No. Alright, so on January 19th, the Swiss Federal Supreme Court ruled that Artisans de Genève can personalise watches at the request and on behalf of the owner. This case was originally brought against Artisans de Genève by Rolex in 2020 because on their website they were selling pre-personalised watches, which Rolex didn't like, and now the court has ruled that they can personalise watches if an owner requests it, which is their current business model, but they cannot market or advertise modified products that have Rolex's or another brand's trademark without their consent, with very limited exceptions. I hope that made sense. This is one, as I said, this is one hell of a complicated issue. Artisans de Genève's current business model is where clients provide a watch to be customized, and this doesn't violate any laws. The reason why this is important is it's the first time the Swiss Supreme Court has considered this issue of personalization and customization of watches, and particularly with Rolex. Rolex does tend to set a precedent a lot of the time, so we wanted to really take a look and deep dive, because watch personalization and customization is quite a big thing in the market. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it, it exists and it's always going to exist. So the story began February 2020 when Rolex secretly bought a modified Daytona from Artisans de Genève for over 32,000 Swiss francs. And this included Artisans de Genève supplying the Rolex Daytona, that's what it was, and customizing it. It was put on their website for sale, pre-customized, and the customization included removing and reapplying the Rolex Oyster and the Cosmograph marks on the dial, which was quite a big deal for Rolex. And then Rolex let them know they'd acquired the Daytona and they weren't happy that it was customized and that they had infringed their trademark, and oopsie poopsie. After that, Artisans de Genève changed their business model so that you have to supply a watch for customization, so you can't buy pre-made ones. The Swiss Supreme Court also mentioned that accessing Artisans de Genève's website is now only possible after the visitor accepts a warning saying that this is an independent watch workshop and personalization services at the request of customers for private use. Does not sell or manufacture watches, that's an important part, and Artisans de Genève will provide a new warranty with the watch because any personalization work done voids the manufacturer's warranty. That's very normal with these sorts of things. Obviously, goes without saying, but Rolex doesn't endorse customization to its watches by third parties, and it will only allow work to be done by official approved service centers and stuff. So all operations done outside of their approved service centers will void the manufacturer's warranty. That's no surprise. Rolex is notoriously closed, as are many watch brands, so can't say I'm shocked. So there's two separate legal issues here. What are they? Good question. One is the personalization at the request and behalf of an object's owner. So yeah, that's when you provide a watch to be personalized, and at the end of the day, it's your watch. I don't see an issue with it. Let me know what you think in the comments, but if you've already bought a watch and you want to do work to it and you have no intention of selling it on in future, just do it. I don't think it's very nice to add diamonds because it's a bit garish, icing out your watch, but I think actually getting some interesting work done, like for example, skeletonization of the dial, if you keep the original dial, and all of these sorts of things, I think they can be really interesting. You see some really cool skeletonized Daytonas online, you see, and it looks like the work that Artisans de Genève do has some real artistic merit to it. Like, it looks really cool. I wouldn't do it to one of my watches, but it looks awesome. The second legal issue is the marketing, advertising, and offering the sale of customized products. So this has been deemed as illegal. So this is essentially where they customize a product, put it up for sale on their website. This has been deemed as illegal by the Swiss Supreme Court unless they have prior authorization of the brand, which they obviously didn't, so they've stopped doing it. So the reasoning that the court gave for their decision was when someone buys a watch, they can modify it however they want. It's their watch. In turn, nothing prevents the owner of a watch from instead having another company modify or customize their watch. So it's buyer's rights, essentially, to break it down. Once Rolex has sold the watch, it's then up to the individual what the hell they want to do for it. I think the Swiss Supreme Court has got this right, because in the advertising and marketing, it did have Rolex's trademarks in it, which legally are protected, so you can sort of get it. But why has the Swiss Supreme Court sided with Rolex in this way on the advertising marketing issue? One company that's renowned for watch customizations and stuff and does actually market with protected brand logos is IFL watches. They modify Casios, Tissot's, quite a few different types of watch actually, and they market with those brands' logos. So what's the difference here? Essentially, Rolex is classed as a highly renowned brand, giving it special legal protections in the eyes of the Swiss government. So you don't get it if you're just any trademark holder. You've got to be a special company, essentially, which is a bit crap. I think Rolex should just be treated as any other company, but I can get the fact that they want to protect their trademark the way that they see fit. However, I agree with their idea of protecting their brand. I think the way that they treat their customers is shocking a lot of the time. Trying to go against a customer's right to customize what they have. If a customer agrees to have their manufacturer warranty voided, let them do what they want. Don't try and go through legal avenues to stop customers trying to do what they want to their own product. Ferrari does it all the time, and they will ban people from ever buying Ferraris again if you customize one of their cars. You can say, oh, but it's perfect the way it was sold. Just let people do what they want to their products. Just make them aware that you're not going to guarantee the aftermarket work that's done. That's fair. You can't guarantee the quality of it, but just let people do what they want. Rolex, you're being subversive by trying to stop people from doing these customizations. This whole thing also brings up an entirely new, different issue regarding watch customization, because if you head to the Rolex website, you're literally asked to configure your own watch. You can pick bezel options out of a couple very small options. You can pick bracelet options, you can pick dial options, sizes. And yeah, this is configuration out of preset references. But in some cases, there's hundreds of options. And I don't think Rolex quite gets the irony there. Obviously, yeah, they can guarantee the work that's being done and all of these things. But to an average consumer that isn't engrossed in the watch market, you can see how the difference between configuration on the Rolex website and then when they have their watch, just wanting to get it changed up, there's no difference. It's the same as having a car and getting an aftermarket exhaust put on it or something. To a lot of people, there's no difference, and trying to act as if there is a difference in the eyes of most consumers is, yeah, there isn't one. I mean, there's even cases of you go to different ADs, you can even get date wheels and stuff in different languages. So it feels like Rolex just want to have a monopoly on the customization of their own watches, which obviously they're going to want to. Makes them more money, means that they control their products and market easier, but it's also not very nice of them. And this isn't the first time Rolex has tried to use lawsuits to shut down customizers. And the Swiss Supreme Court even said customization is increasingly important to consumers. And honestly, this is the case. I think Rolex might just need to move with the times. They can't tell people what to do with their products. Consumer rights are getting more important. They're in people's minds more and more. At the end of the day, Artisans de Genève, they're walking a very thin line between what they can and can't do. Essentially, their core customization business is legal, and this affirms something we all knew all along. Everyone with sense knew all along. If you own something and you've paid money for it and you bought it, you should be able to be allowed to do whatever the hell you like with it. Whether it's ice out your watch, I don't think you should, but you should be allowed to, is the point I'm making here. Just let people make their watches fun and personal without being rude about it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interesting feedback on this video. It was very ranty, but it's a very complicated issue, and I'm sure I've just left out loads of minutiae. So I'm gonna be replying to all of the comments as I usually do and try and actually have a proper engaged debate in the comments. Let's get involved. This is an issue I feel quite strongly about. Whether it's watches, cars, computers, anything, people should be allowed to do what the hell they want with their own products, as long as they're aware that they're voiding their warranty. So if you enjoyed this video, I don't know why you would have, it was rambly and long, but like, subscribe, ding that bell icon so you never miss another video, and watch yourselves.